Welcome back to the show. So when we talk about mortgages, you typically think of a traditional mortgage, right? A 30-year fixed, you get the debt, you buy the house, and you pay it down. Well, there's actually unique financial instruments that exist within the space that can allow you to be a little bit more creative. Today I wanted to talk to you about a reverse mortgage. Joining us in studio, she's an elite expert on the subject. Michele Kole, good to have you on the show.
Thank you. Good to be here.
How are you? So I always have to do this with you. I have to make you re-explain what it is. We have a new audience at all times.
Absolutely.
And it's tricky. Just the name of it is tricky. You're not going in reverse. Real quick, give me in a minute or less, what is a reverse mortgage?
Okay. Reverse mortgage is a very unique loan. It's for individuals over the age of 62. It's for homeowners. It's for those that either want to stay in the home they have or possibly buy a home with a reverse mortgage. There are no principal and interest payments required. It's an FHA insured loan, so should in the future there not be sufficient equity in the home, the FHA insurance covers that. Many people with traditional loans are familiar with FHA and how that is government insured.
So you seniors, we're talking to you, but not only that, that sandwich generation, if you're in your 30s, 40s, and you have parents, it's really something to look into because it eliminates the mortgage payment. You can live till you're 200 years old with no mortgage payments. The house goes up in value, you retain equity. So it's a really unique opportunity, but today you're going to dive into actually being able to buy a house with it, which is not commonly known. Most realtors don't know about it who are referring you for a mortgage. But you can actually buy a house with a reverse mortgage. Explain.
And have no principal and interest payments.
Right.
So
you can buy a house with no payments. So
no payments.
Kind of sounds too good to be true. Explain how it works.
Okay. Typically what happens is you've got mom and dad have lived in their home, kids have moved out, and they go, you know what, we want to move to something else. Now, traditionally what would happen is they'd sell the house, take that chunk of money, and then so they'd have no mortgage payments in retirement, they would buy for cash. Well, as we all know in San Diego, California, the state, it's very hard to buy a home with that $300,000 or $400,000 that may come out of the sale of that home.
Right.
So it's just not going to happen. But yet, with a reverse mortgage, say you have $300,000, you can buy a $600,000 home with a reverse mortgage, use that $300,000 to cover the down payment and the closing costs, have no mortgage payments.
So what's interesting about this is I think, especially when you're talking about seniors, there's a pride in being debt-free.
Absolutely.
Right? And so you think, all right, well, I'm buying a house cash with whatever assets I've accumulated because I want to have no debt. What you're suggesting is rather than buy, call it a $400,000 house with $400,000, use that same money, buy a house that's twice as big, and maintain a $400,000 note that you have no payment on. So either way, you have no payment. Just would you rather live in an $800,000 house or a $400,000 house? Now, explain if the $400,000 house goes up in value or the $800,000 house goes up in value. The equity is still yours.
The equity is still yours. Now, one thing I do want to mention is while there's no principal and interest payment, the borrower still pays their taxes and insurance. So when we say no payments, we need no principal and interest payments.
Yeah, you still got to pay the taxes.
Yeah, you do have to do that. HOA stuff. We're not getting off
Everybody's
totally
getting hit with their tax
free.
bills right now. Not
but
fun,
even if you
hey.
buy all cash, you have to do the same thing. So you're not getting rid of those. So yeah, the equity is yours.
Give me a real example of someone that you've seen buy a reverse mortgage. I'd love to just kind of really color this thing up and give some details.
Okay, typically, got a client and they came into the real estate office. They were excited to buy a home. They had a home to sell and they were going to get about $500,000. They thought, well, we'll just put a down payment and have a regular mortgage. Well, they're retired. They're not getting a regular mortgage. They have no income. They have that cash, but no income, so they're not getting a loan. So the realtor goes, okay, well, what do I do here? So fortunately knew about reverse mortgage enough to say, okay, let's talk to them. And so Ted and Fran, they go, okay, they were open to it. The house they really wanted was $600,000. With that $500,000, they could use a portion of that, buy the $600,000 house and still have about $270,000 left in the bank. So it's about a 50-50. So this means that you actually get some money in the bank, buy the house you really want. They were ecstatic.
I would imagine.
Yeah.
So you're truly the expert on the subject. I really encourage our audience, if this is one of those things, it's not right for everyone. First of all, you have to be 62.
You have to be at least 62.
But it's a financial instrument. It can make a lot of sense if you're having challenges with your mortgage payment because you're limited income, or it can really be an opportunity, as we've explained, being able to buy a house. So here's my call to action for you today. If you are over the age of 62, or maybe you have parents that are, and this sounds like it might be something to look into, whether buying the home or you can refinance with it, I want you to reach out to us, and I want you to get more information. This is something that we love to do for our audience. If you go to americandreamnetwork.tv, hit the contact form. It's going to message me directly. I will connect you with Michele. Learn more about it. Knowledge is power. It can help empower your American dream. Michele, as always, thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you.
All right, coming up next, more of the American Dream. Stick around.